Most entrepreneurs are not capable of running an 8-figure business. It's really easy to get confused by all the things you could do in business, especially when there's a Facebook ad running every 5 seconds about what's working for someone else. The purpose of the 8-figure exits workshop is to clear all of that out and simply lay the plan and the vision for building the exit. The only work you have to do as an entrepreneur is to stay in the zone where work is easy. To me, that's my definition of freedom. So really, I think I observe that a lot of people have the perception of freedom that it means getting FU money and then doing something else. The first thing that we do is we set the target. And the target is simply the number that we're aiming to sell a company for. And we base that off of what amount of money, if it showed up in your life, would allow you to comfortably live the life that you want. Money is the least of our problems in business. It might be in our lives, and so we cast that into the business because we correlate our lifestyle with the business. That's why we did all that work this morning. But when they're disconnected, all right, well now you can just solve for that, just like you would solve for a marketing campaign, and then you go. And so if we know that we're building for that, the plan to make that happen is very clear. And that gives us a filter to make all other decisions. And you leave going, I know what to do. And I know what to say no to. That's a powerful place to be. What most people will do is they've got, they've built out like this piece of the target. Like they've got, a nice little tiny business that they're wanting to expand into this bigger pie, but they can't really see the whole pie from the outside, and that just keeps them stuck here. So they're like trying to build these routes to the bigger pie, and it's frustrating as hell. A lot of people are held back by the idea of controlling the whole pie and no one else can have my pie. The job of the entrepreneur is to look back and say, who has this ingredient, and who has this ingredient, and who has this, and if we all come together, then we make this really big pie, versus I'm gonna go out and get the flour, and I'm gonna go out and get the sugar, and then 7 years go by and we wonder why we're still stuck. So what I would like to encourage you to think about is viewing the full thing, and then we can work it from where we are and build the pieces from there. And what we do here is we get people from the sugar making business to being the baker. And when they make that switch, they can accurately look at their business, and we fix what's wrong, and we bring in the resources to make the pie bigger. That's such a monumental shift. That's how you bake an exit that sets you free. Most people think entrepreneurship is like living in the circle and building out from there. Brian steps back and does this. And he says, okay, what's the business? Where's the cash? And he makes a few phone calls. That's called being an owner. And that's also being an entrepreneur. Okay, that's real entrepreneurship. Most entrepreneurs are not capable of running an 8-figure business. And this is evidenced when you see them looking for certain new routes that they think are going to be the new path that is going to bring them there. You get an 8-figure exit, or any exit at all, by building a valuable business. And a business is valuable to other people. Most entrepreneurs are trying to find the marketing campaign that tricks people into buying the product so that the profit margins justify someone else paying it based on cash flow. People want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of a movement. They want to see momentum. And when the momentum that you seek is the cash flow into my pocket, that's a very finite amount of momentum and movement that somebody else can get behind. People aren't throwing money at you because you are not clear enough on the purpose of the business. Right now, it's still a money play for you. You like it, you're proud of it, but it's a money play. If we look at what creates the money and we talk about that, you will have people who are throwing money at you. And the difference there is talking about return versus talking about movement. Talking about what's happening, like the function of the business versus return. Most people think that investors are attracted to return. They're attracted to story. If you set a vision for what you are trying to do and you build that, not just say you're building it, but really build it, that's how you attract A players. That is also how you attract buyers. And most people are ignoring that part and trying to scale a broken system. What is so powerful about what we do here is that we solve the baseline piece first. And then all of a sudden, the value becomes very evident. And an 8-figure exit isn't so far away. I hope that when they go home, everybody sees that there's just like this release of pressure and energy, because the entrepreneurs knows exactly how to focus that energy into a way that is creating the growth and progress that they want. That's powerful.